The most prestigious award in all of college athletics, the Heisman Trophy. Is this race coming into clearer focus now that we're getting close to week 10 of the college football season? I think not. This Heisman Trophy race is going to go all the way towards the end of this season, going into some conference championships. I think that this is a 5-man race for the Heisman Trophy, and I don't think that anybody yet is separating themselves to be the clear front runner. I do believe that there are 5 people that we need to discuss, 4 of which that have been discussed very largely. Those 4 certainly are Ashton Jeanty from my alma mater, the Broncos on the blue turf at Boise State, Cam Ward of the University of Miami, Travis Hunter from CU, Colorado Boulder, and Dylan Gabriel at Oregon. The 5th, who I believe is going to be the sneaky dark horse in all of this, even so far as to show the humility to put all the attention on his teammate, Travis Hunter, for the Heisman, that's Shedeur Sanders, because I don't know that there's anybody who's been more impactful for the resurrection of their team and starting out with a tough loss at Nebraska and now week by week getting better. And that's Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders has been phenomenal in this win streak that CU has had since the Kansas State game. And I do believe with the schedule that lies ahead and potential CFP ramifications for CU, there won't be a player that's more important and more dynamic and has had more wow moments at the end of games than you'll find in Shedeur Sanders. Now let's talk about the other 4 candidates. Travis Hunter made the trip today all the way out to Happy Valley. He's out on the set of College Game Day. Some Heisman stumping going on by CU. Great move. I tip the cap to them. The interesting part about Travis Hunter is that statistically, when you look at everything that he's been able to do on both sides of the ball, each side of the ball doesn't necessarily measure up to what a Heisman statistically would look like as a receiver or as a Woodson type of a defensive back. But I do think that the totality of the body of work, being the guy that had his helmet on the football against Baylor in overtime, the interceptions, the big passes that he's been able to catch and reel in that nobody else in college football has shown the ball skills to do. I think that Travis Hunter is deeply in this Heisman conversation. Cam Ward, he's must-watch TV. University of Miami's football games this year, even if the ACC isn't one of the true elite conferences that everybody should be talking about week in, week out, man, this dude is must-watch TV. He's dynamic. He's athletic. He makes crazy throws from awkward body positions. He's not turning the ball over as much as I predicted that he would earlier this season. I like Cam Ward as a player that is just continually trending up in this race. And as Miami continues to stay undefeated, insofar as Miami doesn't find the pitfall and lose a game that they shouldn't lose in the ACC conference slate, I do think he's going to be right there at the end. Dylan Gabriel behind Oregon, been very efficient, starting to become more explosive. It had a bit of a slow start to the season, statistically uneven games against the University of Idaho, didn't play unbelievably well against Boise State. But now as the season progresses, he does stand out in the Big Ten Conference because it's a conference that I believe is void of any elite quarterback play. And now the Oregon Ducks find themselves as the number 1 team in the country. He's surrounded by incredible supporting cast, the receiver position, the running back group that he has. Dylan Gabriel's in the mix here. And then Ashton Jeanty. This is an interesting one because Ashton Jeanty is on his way and still fighting in the competition towards breaking Barry Sanders' all-time rushing record last night against San Diego State. That took a bit of a backseat with only 149 rushing yards, 180 combined yards between receiving and rushing. Ashton Jeanty is an absolute warrior. He is got Boise State in a position to be the front runner from a non-automatic qualifier Group of 5 conference. And I believe Boise State right now is the dominant team from Group of 5 that will indeed not only qualify and be the team that plays in the college football playoffs, but also might continue the trend towards being a team that hosts a playoff spot on the blue turf. Wouldn't that be a sight to see? Travis Hunter, Ashton Jeanty right now as the 1A, 1B. I do believe that this thing's going to come down to who performs well down the stretch. It's going to be between those 2 players. It's going to be a statistical matchup, but I think Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel and Cam Ward, if they have the signature Heisman moment, leading their team from behind to save the season and keep their programs towards a college football playoff, I think that a quarterback could indeed win this award. And that's not what the people necessarily want to see. It seems like it's always a quarterback award. My prediction right now for who wins the Heisman Trophy winner, I think it's going to be Shedeur Sanders from the University of Colorado. Don't at me.